Purchase orders. Generating orders for multiple stores. If you have multiple stores, you've got a variety of different options that you can use when you're generating an order. You may want the store to generate their own orders and have the supplier deliver the goods directly to them. You may want to generate the order for them, but the supplier still orders it. Or they may want to reorder from one of your larger stores or a warehouse, for example. Okay. So in this scenario, we've now got two stores, store 1 and store 2. Both have their own minimums and maximums and quantities. And what we're going to do is generate an order as if we're the larger store and then distribute the items that they require. So we're going to order to the supplier, place one order with the supplier for both stores. So this is how we would do it in the first scenario. If we go to stock functions and purchase orders, okay, what I'm going to do is just delete these orders here, get rid of them. I'm going to do new order, and I'm going to order from Canagan, and it says which store. Just leave it on store 1, it doesn't really matter. So it's still the main, it'll be the main store, the larger one. So we'll say the store 1 is like the warehouse style or large store, and store 2 is a smaller ancillary store. So again, we can put some kind of code in there if we want to. Press tick. There's the order. The difference this time is when we generate an order based on minimum and maximum like this, we keep all that the same, but we're actually going to click store 1 and store 2. Okay? When we press tick, it generates all the items, but you see there's a column saying target store. This is for store 1. And these are for store 2. And what you'll find is you'll actually have the same line twice. So let me see if I can find one. It might be a bit hard, but Canagan puppy 2 kilogram have we got, and Canagan puppy 2 kilogram. So store 1 wants to order 6, but store 2 only wants to order 3. So that's all great, that's fine. The problem is when we give the supplier the order, they don't want to see 6 and then 3 with 2 separate items. They want to see a consolidated view. So when you print or email it, so if I go print and I say print order items, I will get a selection of options. Make sure that you want the top one ticked that says consolidate items and then tick. So this way, when it comes to Canagan puppy, let's see if we can find it. There we are. 6 kilograms. It says order 7. We can also customize that printout layout there as well. So we could, oops, wrong one, sorry. Edit printout templates. You can edit that layout and remove, for example, the barcode pattern. That might look a bit better when you're printing them out. Like this. You can see all the items individually better that way. So that would be an example of generating the order. When you go to increase the stock levels later on, it will make sure that the items for store 1 will go in store 1 and the items that go to store 2 go to store 2. So that's how we can generate an order for one store using the minimums and maximums and quantities for both stores. Everything will have come into store 1. And then afterwards, we would then only send items for store 2 to store 2. Could even make a separate order if we wanted to and just cut and paste them in. But generally, that's not necessary. So there's the store 2, there's store 1. So we always have knowledge of knowing which items should be going to which stores. Another way you can generate those orders, by the way, you don't have to do one supplier at a time. You can also press suggest and bulk generate orders. And when you press calculate potential orders, it will come up with an estimated amount as to how much each one would be. Now, of course, if you can order from both suppliers, results can get a bit skewed. But generally, if it's above your minimum order, you can just press tick and it will generate all those for you. Make sure you press options because obviously in this video we're talking about multiple stores, so make sure you click store 1 and store 2 accordingly. When you create a new order, you could just do store 2 like this, press tick and generate just store 2's orders. So you can still do them all one by one manually, either at head office or the stores can do them. And you can filter which stores you want to see, store 2, store 1, etc. Another type of example of reordering from multiple stores could be store 2, being a smaller store, wants to order directly from store 1. So in this scenario, I'm now on store 2 at the moment, okay? I'm going to say new order, but instead of ordering from a supplier, I'm going to order from a store. And the store I'm going to order from is store 1. So this is store 2, we're ordering from store 1. When I press tick, I can now generate my order just like I would normally, only this time I wouldn't be filtering it by a supplier or anything like that. I'm more likely to, if I'm going to do a filter, I'm more likely to be filtering by a category or something like that, okay? There is still an extra option to limit by supplier as well, but that's not often used. So now when I press tick, it generates the order for store 2. That's fine, or for everything, not just Canagan. Just so happens that all my mins and maxes I've only done for Canagan, but this would have been for everything you would see in here. So it would be a much larger order. When you press close, you would then send it to the order, to whatever. They can access and see your orders by just choosing different stores. So they can see the order that you've placed already. You can just send them a message to say, there it is, it's ready to go, or someone will monitor it. Then when the items come in, you can just press edit order like this. And because the target store is store 2 and it knows that store 1 was the source store, when you say select all, set as checked, assuming everything has come in, and press add to stock, it actually doesn't just add it into store 2, it also subtracts it from store 1. As opposed to a supplier, which just literally just adds the stock and that's all it does. So when you order from a second store to the first or vice versa, the stock will be automatically subtracted because it knows that the supplier is actually store 1, which is where it came from.